Now that you know the basics of how to play Blabel, you can move to the advanced game. It's basically the same, but now, not only do you have to build a 3-floor tower, but you have to make it last until the 10th turn has ended, resisting several catastrophes in the meantime. There are 4 catastrophes: earthquake, flood, fire, and hurricane. Whenever you remove a turn token, so after the 4th, the 7th, the 9th, and the 10th turn, a catastrophe will appear, and you'll have to play a catastrophe phase. These catastrophes can destroy part of your tower, but you can prevent the damages by choosing your construction cards wisely. For example, the more columns you have, the less your tower will be affected by earthquakes. But a tower made completely out of wood will be more vulnerable than one made of stone and gold. I'll explain how this works in a bit. There's also a new token at play, the Lookout token. The person that has it will peek at the imminent catastrophe and try to shout one word of warning. If the rest of the players guess which catastrophe is coming, it'll be a bit less destructive. I know you want to know all about it right now, but be patient. After doing the basic setup, do these 3 things. Give the Lookout token to any player. That player will be the first lookout. Shuffle and place the Lookout cards face down. Place the catastrophe cards on the table. Anyone can look at them. And that's it. In the basic game, you always build the tower like this. But now, you have much more control. You can build different towers. But always keep in mind that any given floor can't be bigger than the one below. Building a higher tower can make it more vulnerable, but it can help you spot catastrophes a bit better, as I will explain in a bit. Another key difference with the base game is that now the foreman has to choose what they want to build very carefully, since depending on what they build, the tower may stand or fall when the next catastrophe comes. There are 4 catastrophes in the game: earthquake, flood, fire, and hurricane. Each of these cards tells you all the information you need about them. This shows the direction of the damages. As you see, fires and floods will do damage from bottom to top, while hurricanes and earthquakes do it from top to bottom. These numbers tell you how many constructions the catastrophe can destroy, depending if it's the first, second, third, or 4th catastrophe of the game. So if the first catastrophe is a hurricane, it can destroy up to 1 construction. But in the 4th catastrophe phase, it can destroy up to 4. These are the materials that each catastrophe can destroy. For example, fire can destroy anything that is made of wood or glass, but the constructions made of gold or stone are safe. And this is the protective object. If you face a hurricane, for example, it'll do 1 less damage per arch in your tower. To fight fire, you'll need doors. Columns help against earthquakes, and stairs help you deal with floods. So try to build a robust tower. Now that you know the basics of catastrophes, let's see how to play a catastrophe phase. During the catastrophe phase, players aren't allowed to speak. Instead, they'll have to pay attention to the lookout, who's going to try to warn them about the incoming catastrophe. Let's walk through a catastrophe phase with an example. Imagine we just played the 9th turn. We have to flip this token. Since there are no days left, we flip them all, remove 1, and start the catastrophe phase. The lookout shuffles the 4 catastrophe cards and randomly picks one. In this case, a fire. After taking a look in secret at the incoming catastrophe, they shuffle the cards again and place them on the table, face up. Then, the lookout takes 4 lookout cards, which have 1 word each, and has to pick the one that better represents the catastrophe. In this case, I think now it's a good fit for fire. But there's no reason to base your choice on anything but intuition. Follow your heart. Then, when everyone is paying attention, the lookout should say the word just once, loud and clear, without giving any hints with gestures or intonation. Now! Then, the rest of the players take their time to think in silence. When everyone is ready, you can count to 3. and the other players have to point at the same time at the catastrophe card they think it's coming. If like now, at least half of the votes are correct, you understood the lookout, which means the catastrophe will affect you a bit less. Now, let's see how the catastrophe affects the tower. First, we have to calculate the damage that the catastrophe does. This would be the third catastrophe of the game, so the base damage is 3. For each door that we have, the damage is reduced by 1. We have 1 door, so the damage of the catastrophe is now 2. We understood the lookout, so the damage is reduced again by 1. The total damage is 1. This means that the catastrophe will destroy up to 1 construction. Now we have to destroy the constructions. Fire destroys them from bottom to top, and can only destroy wood or glass. We start from the first floor, left to right. This stone column can't be destroyed. Why? Because it's made of stone. But this door can. Even if it's a door and it helps us mitigate the damage, it's made of wood, so it can be burned. The fire is done. However, as you can see, our second floor is bigger than the first one, so we have to destroy part of it. We destroy constructions from left to right, so these golden stairs have to go. Since this wasn't caused by the fire, the material of the construction doesn't matter. That's why even if they are made of gold, we have to destroy these stairs. And that's it! But one more thing. The lookout bonus will reduce the damage by 2 instead of 1 if your tower is particularly high. If you have 2 floors during the first catastrophe, you get this bonus. If you have 3 floors during the second one, you also get the bonus. Same thing for the third and fourth. So if you build a higher tower, like this, you will be able to reduce the catastrophe damage if the lookout works well, but at the cost of having a more fragile tower. It's your choice. If after the fourth catastrophe your tower has at least 3 floors, you win. And that's it! You know everything that you need to build the Tower of Blabel.